folk is not and should not be viewed as a news source. Any names, places, or likenesses mentioned are purely fictional, and any information discussed is purely speculative. Guest opinions are their own and do not reflect those of anyone else. Wherein the folk is not responsible for content accuracy of any stories that are told or what people do with these stories. This show is vulgar, sometimes graphic, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone actually.
Welcome to another episode of Where in the Folk. I hope everybody's had a great day.
Awesome.
A splendid day. And we figured we'd run a little free-for-all episode and watch these hundreds of videos that Tully sends. There has been a score, though, for the conspiracy community this week, as CIA files were released that revealed the search for Hitler was in South America for 10 years after his death. And apparently Argentina is getting ready to come out and say that he was there. Is that accurate? Or something?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think they're kind of, their backs are kind of against the wall on at least releasing something related to that. But yeah, they're saying that they were looking for Hitler 10 years after his quote unquote suicide.
Yeah. And I mean, the fact that he was probably there has never really been in question for a lot of people, because this document, there's been inklings of this for a while, which you can see the report is which is not evaluated. So right now this is all speculation from what I'm seeing. But if this comes out to be true, Jesus, that changes history a lot.
Yeah, they won't let it get that far.
Nah.
Hey, Landa.
Hey, Landa.
Good to see you. Hope you had a good day.
Hope you had a good day. So, as this says, if you never read this before, apparently this just came out, but I've always heard about this, so I'm not for sure. They're saying the following information, which concerns a possible hiding place for Hitler in Argentina, has been passed to us by a source. The reliability is unknown to us at this time. And this is one Miss Eckenhorn. Looks like the name is a little scratched out. Reported to be a reputable member of Argentina society and the proprietor of the largest spa hotel in La Falls, Argentina, recently made the following observations: that even before the Nazi Party was founded, she made available to Goebbels her entire bank account, which at the time amounted to approximately 30,000 marks. Ooh, that took a long time to write those out. Which money was used for propaganda purposes. That she and her family have been enthusiastic supporters of Adolf Hitler since the Nazi Party was founded. That this voluntary support of the Nazi Party was never forgotten by Hitler, and that during the years after he came into power, her friendship with Hitler became so close that she and members of her family lived with Hitler in the same hotel on occasion of their annual visit to Germany.
Nice.
Yep. That if Hitler should at any time get into difficulty, whether it was necessary for him to find a safe retreat, he would find such safe retreat at her hotel, La Falda, where they had already made the necessary preparations. So this is kind of a crazy thing, because as we've discussed, and everybody's probably known for years, in Argentina there are a lot of Germans, a lot of Germans.
Yeah, well, and the places in Argentina where there's blonde-haired, blue-eyed people.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of twins in one place.
Hey, Bladesmith. I don't know who Exodus is, but welcome. We're talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's the first comment I've ever seen from X.
Holly comments from X sometimes. It's weird because you got to actually get in there. Like you can't comment from the surface on X.
Okay, all right. So this is kind of strange, but I mean, if that comes out and they come out and say that this is true, what does that do for history? Like, honestly.
Well, I mean, think about all the other history that we've had trouble with lately, like the pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're just pretending with the pyramids. They're pretending like that none of that's happening. I mean, like in my opinion, and I've said this like the last 3 weeks, but the discovery of the ever how many feet? What was it, like a mile below the pyramids or close? Um, that completely debunks those being Egyptian.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know, man. That would be insane if Argentina comes out and says, "Yeah, he lived here." I just don't see that being swept under the rug
Well,
because
not in Argentina, but I think in America they're just going to bury it.
I just don't see how they can. Like with the world, with news being like it is now, if the government of another country comes out and like, "Yeah, we had him. He was chilling in a hotel till he died at the ripe old age of blah blah blah," and we would have known he was down there, and we just kind of let him chill. You know what I mean? Like the implications of that's wild. Because I don't think we've ever done that with any other like leader like that, except during the Revolutionary War or something.
Well, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. The fact that there's now declassified documents saying that they were looking for Hitler 10 years after his death.
Yeah.
I mean, that at least to us conspiracy theorists,
Yeah.
that's at least gratification enough, I think. Hey, Easy. Glad you got to jump on. So for those of you that may be listening on audio only in the future,
Yeah.
we're about to run through a bunch of videos. So we'll describe the videos, but consider joining our live stream sometime. We're live on Fridays at 7 and Saturdays at 8 when we do Saturdays.
Oh yeah, for sure. This just came together because we didn't have nothing else to do today. So thank you all for coming in.
True.
I did mow the first mow of the year.
How was it?
Oh, it was splendid. It was splendid. It's got some time to myself. Realized that one of my blades was off after about mowing half the grass, so it looks like half of it's bald and half of it isn't. So
Okay.
that's awesome. That's always fun. So I guess we can get straight into the videos. Is there any particular one you want to go with first?
No, I don't care. We've got some new UFO videos. There's an old UFO video that came that started surfacing again, and everybody in the comments is like, "This looks like CGI or like a video game or something." But somebody's like, "It came out before." They're like, "I remember this video from a long time ago, like before video game graphics were even like the PS1 level."
Yeah.
But I threw it in there just so that people could, have an opinion.
I remember this one.
People are saying that the reflection is what makes it. The reflection is what makes it believable because the object itself looks fake, but I think it'd be hard to track a reflection the way that this thing does.
Yeah, and this comes from visitors.from space.1, the number one. So let's take a look at it. This one right here, I've seen this not long ago. Actually, it doesn't look. I don't know. Let's see what y'all think of this because it doesn't look real.
Yeah, we'll watch it a couple times. Just keep in mind, so the object itself looks fake, right? But look at the reflection in it.
Yeah.
Like it's reflecting the ground in the bottom, and it's reflecting the trees in the top. And I think you can even see a cloud.
It's an alien. Huh.
And like in the comments, you'll see people being like, I literally saw one of these in the woods. There's all kinds of people coming out of the woodwork being like, I've seen one of these before.
Is it a wood UFO? Woods UFO? Like,
Yeah, it's just hanging out in the middle of the woods.
I mean, it seems seamless, but man,
It's the reflection for me. Like the object looks fake, but so do those blondes that make people invisible. You know what I mean? Like that stuff looks fake to me too on the surface.
I have to hear that every day from my wife. But it is small. It is a small one. I mean, it could. It's really hard to say. It that seems like if that was some kind of alien technology, it would be a drone of some sort, like some kind of monitoring device.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's neat. Neat.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one, but I threw it in there just because it was there was a big not argument, but a bunch of people commenting on that video. A lot of people being like, "I've seen something similar," and then there's a lot of people being like, "That doesn't look real." But then the people replying to those comments were saying that this footage was a lot older than the ability to make something like that or AI or any of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, AI is getting crazy though. I've allowed my wife to use the Chat GPT account, and she has went haywire with it. You've lost audio, but she's went nuts with that stuff. She's creating pictures that look insane. Like she created one that put us in a desert, and it looks real.
Does it have like you can just do it with no limit? Like she can just keep prompting.
Yeah. Well, the one we got eventually runs out of time, but it takes a while. I'm not paying $200 a month for one. I'm surprised I'm paying what I'm paying.
Yeah.
I literally bought it just to be able to rip the text and stuff from our old episodes.
I got you.
Yeah, it made it so much easier instead of having to listen to hundreds of hours of old episodes and listen to myself. I could just transcribe on Word and then clean it up on Chat GPT. It took like 40 minutes.
Hey, Nick.
What up, Nick?
Welcome. So yeah, if you're just joining, we are doing a conspiracy free for all. So if you want to talk about any conspiracies in particular, throw them in the chat. Otherwise, we're just going to be watching some freaky videos. Not those kind of freaky videos. We can. I mean, but
I don't see a big deal not to.
though, I mean, that it really would be an intellectual circle jerk, like that guy commented.
It is anyway. But but I mean, that UFO video we just watched was kind of strange. Oh, I've been playing Cyberpunk before we go to this one, and I don't know if you know this. Have you ever played it?
Mm-mm.
So Cyberpunk it's a pretty fun game. I waited a couple years to play it because when we first got it, the bugs were real bad on it, and it just pissed me off. But you make their genitalia.
What?
Yeah. And you have to pick, if you go with a man's genitalia, you have to do small, regular, or big. And it shows.
That seems like excessive for a video game, dude. What is it? Are you using it in the game?
You can.
I'm just like, what's the point?
When I seen it, I was like, huh. Well, let's see how the other side of life lives, you know? but it's kind of wild. So this next one comes to you from official Howie Mandel. I don't believe it's really Howie Mandel, but
probably not. That is strange, Easy.
It's strange because I mean, parents are going to buy that game. I know it's rated high and stuff, but parents are going to buy the game for the kids. You know what I mean? Like, and that's part of your setup when you're building the person. You have to either pick to have them in underwear or pick the genitalia. Like,
yeah, that's kind of crazy.
And here's another thing: you can get it type 1, which is uncut, or type 2, which is cut. I swear.
Get out of here, dude.
I swear. It's nuts, dude. But
New meeting the peg leg. Yep.
but let's go ahead and play this UFO video. This person says I'm at 45,000 feet over Texas. WTF?
Yeah, it's a pilot.
So I'm in the cockpit of a plane. This is getting brighter.
Turns,
Where is it turning?
stops,
Wait,
and it stops position, and then it goes away.
what is that?
And then there's two more
Where?
right below it.
Where? Point to where there's another one. Oh, and now there's two more. So what is this?
I don't know.
Look at it. Bright, throbbing, and then wait, and then it went away.
So what do you think that is? Like, I wish it would use a different word than throbbing to describe it. You know, pulsing. But
Yeah, it almost seems like all the drone videos, right? It's very similar.
at 40, he's at 45,000 feet. So how high would that be? I mean, that
High. I mean, I think that's higher than. It's definitely higher than civilian drones can go.
hell, that might be Willie Nelson. That's so damn high. I don't know. Um, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the sky that looks strange. So this was shot. If you're listening on audio only, this was shot in out of a plane cockpit, and it's a pulsating light. That looks like it's a little bit higher than where they are, but it's relative. I mean, it's hard to determine how far away or how high up it is. Oh, that's a unique one.
Yeah,
Neat.
yeah, that was a weird one.
There is something on here after we get done with these UFO things that I want to really look at because it's called rebranding Hooters.
Oh yeah, I forgot to. I meant to include that in our Friday segments, but yeah, they're totally trying to rebrand Hooters as a family friendly restaurant to save them from bankruptcy.
Aren't they all shut down?
No,
We drove by two recently and they looked shut down. There was nobody there.
well, there's not. I mean, that's the whole point of why they're filing bankruptcy. But rather than do like a full send and go back to what was actually making them money, which was Hooters,
Yeah.
their approach to rebrand is to make it more family friendly and orient it away from men. So, I mean, they're definitely going under, dude.
Yeah. The last time I went to Hooters, I think I took you for one of your birthdays.
Honestly, that was probably one of the last times I went too.
And it was just for a good time. The food sucked. Like,
Yeah.
that's the reason I quit going. I'm a fat guy. Yeah, boobies are fine, but I mean, I want good food. Anyway, so we'll show this right here.
Oh yeah, this was weird.
That looks like I'm going to kill the sound on that. That looks like the Black Knight satellite.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Huh.
Like at first, when it was zoomed out, I was like, "That's just a balloon or something." But when it's zoomed in, it almost looks like it has lights on it.
That does look eerily like the Black Knight satellite. And if you all don't know what I'm talking about, there's apparently a rock that looks just like this that's spinning around in our orbit that people believe is an ancient vehicle, and they call it the Black Knight satellite, and that looks just like it almost. Huh. I'm gonna try to find a picture of that actually.
Yeah, it shouldn't be hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also, I think, CIA documents regarding the Black Knight satellite and speculation, all that good stuff.
All right, here's a good one because this is if you believe in space and NASA, this is supposedly a picture of the Black Knight satellite with a spaceship, with one of our little earthly spaceships here. Screenshots. Don't want to send that one. Bear with me. Look at this. Does that not look like it?
It does, yeah. It really does look like that. Maybe the edges on the Black Knight are a little more defined, like jagged. The edges kind of look smooth on the one that we showed a minute ago.
Huh. Did I lose it? Did I delete it? I probably did. But that looks eerily similar.
Yeah, it is in the same vein for sure. But who's to say there aren't multiple of those things flying around?
So let's do a little comparison. Here this is coming from UFOEVT. That's in daylight. And that's that. Daylight. Daylight. That. But
yeah, I don't know. I think that's as good of a guess as any.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was one of the most compelling videos that I've seen since the whole drone fiasco a few months ago, which eerily went away, right?
Yeah. Did they ever say what it was?
Nope.
Let's see. What was the drones? Oh, they were unmanned aerial vehicles.
Yeah, that explains a lot. Thanks, Google.
I just snorted. But anyway, let's go to Hooters here and see what's going on with Hooters. Let's see. Rebrand. Hooter friendly. It was always family friendly.
Oh, shoot. I forgot that. Yeah, I forgot about the video. So this is on the news. Listen to what this guy says about it.
I mean, my dad used to take me there when I was a kid. It was always family.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, how dumb do you have to be as Hooters to say we're moving to more a less men-oriented approach to making money? That has BlackRock or an investment firm all like written all over it.
What are they going to do? Change the name to Dangles?
Yeah.
I'd probably go there if the food was good. Okay. Let's see.
Do Hooters, okay? Mm-hmm. You should dive in more.
Yeah.
More bikini nights.
Yeah.
I'm serious. If you're gonna redo Hooters, do more bikini nights.
Yeah.
Hotter women.
Yeah.
Better food.
Yeah.
Go all in.
Yeah.
You have to greet the women first at Hooters.
Yeah.
Go to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to TGI
Go
Fridays.
to Applebee's. Want to greet the women first? Go to Applebee's. You want a friendly neighborhood experience?
That ain't
Eat
this.
good in the neighborhood. Go to Applebee's.
Yeah.
Hooters is one thing.
Yeah. Two
Like,
things.
exactly.
Well, now it is. And it's just like, it's not hard. It's not rocket science.
Would you go if they
Yes.
amped it up a little bit?
Fine. I would support them. I would go to support them.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't make me want to go.
All right.
Well,
I
that
would
is-
support them
I
if
didn't see
they
that
dove
coming,
in.
but
I did not see that coming.
I think you might be onto something, Ryan.
Usually am.
He has not been this engaged or excited about anything that
I
we
think it was that
discussed.
thing that we did. He came all
He
leathered
came
up.
out the gate hot.
Yes.
I wish there was more of a story to that. I didn't realize that's what that was. But
Yeah, so the story is that Hooters came out, and it's probably easy to look up an article, but Hooters came out and said that in the looming bankruptcy that they're doing, their new approach is to be more family friendly to draw more crowds of family oriented people. And everybody's like, dude, Twin Peaks is going to put you under, because Twin Peaks has like 31-degree beer, and they still take the approach of hiring like attractive people. Hooters used to be that way. I don't know if you've been in a Hooters lately or in the last 10 years, but Hooters is not that way anymore. And I think that's why they're filing bankruptcy.
I don't know.
There's also a Mexican version out there. It's you may be able to find one in Texas, actually, Landa. It's called, I think, Tortas.
Ooh.
And it is basically a Mexican Hooters.
Nice. I don't know. How old are you now?
Me?
Yeah.
35.
I think it's been 14 years since I've been to a Hooters. I think we went for your 21st birthday before we went to the other place.
The good old days.
But yeah, rebranding. I mean, like Show Me's. You remember Show Me's?
Yeah, is that still a thing?
I don't think so. Like, these places are designed for pigs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So why would you go against your model? Just make better food. That's the reason I never went back. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, it was really expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be different if it was like the strip club and you're eating wings or something, and the wings are subpar. Well, okay, it's a strip club. Whatever.
Wings are free between 12 and 4 on Wednesdays. But I don't even know what this one is. I just clicked on one. Robot Horse. This is a fella doing some commentary. Expensive _taste. The Terminator bike is what he's calling it. I actually seen this. Is this a Kawasaki thing?
Yeah, I think so.
I kind of want one.
Maybe. I mean, who knows? It seems more. It seems like one of those robot dogs that's big enough to ride, pretty much.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And it looks cool as shit. Like, a lot of this stuff scares me, but this right here, I would be like, yeah, I'd buy that if I had the money. But here,
because it's not like AI stuff, I don't think.
It might be.
Landa, it's very common.
It's pretty common, actually.
Yeah, you just got to be there. It's its own thing.
Usually, it's a bunch of car salesmen.
Yeah, everybody is sharing in the debauchery, and once you're at that level, nobody really cares if you're like got wing sauce all over your face. They just care about the $2 bills.
Yep. All right, let's get into it.
The world is about to take a crazy turn when they start doing unexplainable shit with technology. So Kawasaki, Kawasaki, the motorcycle company, just released their new motorcycle. And let me say this, it's not a motorcycle. Matter of fact, look at this shit. And as you can see, it looks like a motorcycle, but it has 4 legs. What the hell do you need a motorcycle with 4 legs for? 4 fully functionable legs. And let me just say this, you could do way more shit with this than you can with a motorcycle. Look at this shit right here. So you telling me they're not getting ready for something? This new robot horse doesn't take gas. It doesn't take batteries either. It's fueled by hydrogen, which means it's gonna last way longer than a motorcycle for whatever they want you to use it for. Yeah, okay. And they're saying this could be controlled the same way you control a motorcycle, but they also specified it's used for lifting things. I wonder what they plan on lifting with it. Because who's running up mountains with a robotic horse? Now, what they're saying is they don't have a price for it out yet, but it's not going to be cheap. So most likely it might be in the $100,000 range and up. Will you copy? Pay attention. You know the
That is so cool, though. Like,
If I had one of those, I would be forced to wear a white Power Ranger suit.
Oh God, yeah, for sure. That would be so fun.
Yeah, Foreman, that's true.
That is true. Anytime they make something that's animal replica, they need to have the old drain plug in the rear.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what it reminds me of, is like one of the Zords from the Power Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things about this new technology scares me for sure. But this, I mean, come on. It's a
All right. This is the one thing that you're going to defend.
that would be so fun. I like all terrain vehicles. That's all terrain vehicle. Let's see.
Yeah, easy. That's true. You know what's weird? Like, it shows in StreamYard that you're commenting from Rumble, but when we show comments, it never shows where they're from if it's not like the trifecta.
Yeah. And there's an interesting thing about this. You know, the guy that I think he created the Segway or was the CEO of the Segway, which kind of plays into what Easy said. If you're listening only, Easy put they would not trust something like that until it's been around for a long time. The thing would slip on the rocks and take the human down with it. The guy that either invented the Segway or was the CEO of Segway died because he backed off a cliff on the Segway.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The only person I've ever met that's ridden a Segway actually is Foreman.
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever rode one?
No. I don't believe in it.
But you believe in robot horses?
I don't like things that have two parallel wheels and just two parallel wheels.
I got you.
Because I'm fat and I know my center of gravity can't be accurate. The founder of Segway, James William Jimmy Hesseldin.
What a name.
Yeah. But on the morning of 26th September 2010, he's riding his Segway while walking his dog near Trop Arch.
Ooh.
He reversed the Segway to allow a fellow dog walker to get past him. Then he fell off a nearby cliff.
Here, I got something for you to pull up. I was messing around on Twitter, and apparently this was yesterday. They're shooting at a UFO in Moscow.
Oh, put it in the chat here.
Like tons of tracer rounds, it looks like.
Private chat.
Yeah, it's in there.
All right. Yeah, you guys should be jealous. We got a private chat. Let's see. All right. Oh crap.
Yeah, it's legit. I mean, I don't know if it's a legit UFO, but it's legit shooting.
Let's see. Jesus.
Imagine waking up to that.
I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
They for sure have terrible aim, but it's moving awful slow.
A lot of them are. Not just in Moscow, but a lot of the ones here were moving slow too.
What do you think? They're just cruising by, listening to fucking Gangster's Paradise or something like?
I mean, honestly, it could be like a China or I don't know, Israel or somebody just testing reaction, like reaction time, or us for that matter. Just testing reaction time or response time to something like that.
What really sucks?
Play the beginning again.
Okay.
We can watch them with their terrible aim.
It was pretty shitty aim.
Yeah, they're shooting all around it easy. Oh Lord, that's hilarious.
What's up, Larry?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What really sucks about this whole thing, this guy probably has to go work in the morning. He's
You
like,
know it. Like that's how that goes. You wake up at 3 a.m. to pop, 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 pop.
oh, I'm up now. Might as well stay up. Like,
Yeah.
one of those situations. I don't know, man. That could have been a plane or it could have been drone, like Larry said. I just feel like if it was a UFO, it would have yeeted, like, scooted straight out. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's wild. Huh. Neat.
Yeah.
Are you searching porn or something? Like,
No.
you've been typing for hours.
But yeah, I'm trying to get us out there.
Get us out there. Anyway, the robot hearse has intrigued me. Now I just need to make a couple $100,000 somehow. And let's see, if it's $100,000, then I only gotta make $999,997 to be able to get one.
That's not bad.
Not bad. I can get there. Let's see. Grocery fuckery, huh?
Yeah, dude. I never claimed to be the best descriptor.
We've been doing mermaids quite often. Let's see what this one is.
What's up, Larry?
Not much, man. Not much is going on, brother.
If you want to talk about any, if you're just getting in, oh yeah, the New York helicopter crash. That was weird. There's been a lot of crashes lately, or at least, well, what they're trying to tell everybody is they're just reporting on it more, and then it's a normal amount of crashes. But yeah, that whole family died. That was terrible.
I haven't looked into it too much. I just seen that the propeller separated and hit first, it seemed like.
They said that by the time that helicopter hit the water, that it had ejected everybody.
And the capsule hit by itself, but it looked like the tails broke off. They're saying one of the blades chopped the rear off.
That's crazy.
So they're saying one of the blades chopped the rear off. I wonder what happened there. Like I need to look into it. I just haven't looked into it this week.
Yeah, me either. But it was. I do know that it was soon after takeoff. Like it wasn't like they were in a long flight or anything. It was soon after takeoff, and they said that when it started spinning, I guess it ejected all of them into the river, and a couple of them survived long enough to make it to the hospital, but then were declared dead.
That's horrible. I hate to hear that. There's a lot of aerial stuff happening, but I feel like it just happens like all the time anyway. Kind of like the train disasters were happening all the time. It's just what they choose to put out in the light, but it's still a horrible situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. That is weird.
Yeah, it looked strange, the videos I've seen of it. But we're going to move on to real mermaids caught in the coast of Mexico.
Did the grocery one not pull up?
I
don't know.
I'm just going to mermaids first.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it was something interesting.
Tronic86 is the creator of this content. Tronic86.
Yeah, we were just talking about mermaids not too long ago. I thought this would be cool to. This guy did a lot of research, I think.
Mermaids come up quite often because we're circle jerking imbeciles or something like
that. Yeah.
Which is fine.
Accurate.
It's not too far from truth. Let's go ahead and watch it.
What a real mermaid looks like. Between 1957 and 1962, a very famous Mexican actor, Cantinflas, had mermaids at his house in the coast of Mexico, Acapulco. So this is just a bombshell because these documents have been released recently, a couple of days ago. A lot of people, including myself, we always thought that mermaids look some type of way, like in the movies that we always watch in Hollywood and things like that. But that's not the case here. These mermaids actually look so bizarre, like very different from what we have always shown on TV. Now, these documents have been released by Hector Valencia, and for some reason, nobody can really get a hold of them. Now, these mermaids can breathe underwater and out of the water. And not only that, but these mermaids can actually go 7 days without eating anything. All of this is actually described on these documents, which is very, very shocking. Oh, and this is not all. It is described on those documents that these famous actor Cantinflas was actually having parties. Yeah, parties with these mermaids at his house, which is bizarre. I'm starting to believe that
What
these
kind of parties?
have been here on this planet before us. What do you think about all of this? Do you believe these mermaids are actually some type of entities that came from the universe? Or maybe they were made here by some other type of extraterrestrial being, right? What do you think about all of this? This
Hmm.
is insane. Do you want to see what a real mermaid looks like between
Oh,
19?
yeah, I've actually heard that they are common in Jamaica. I didn't know they call them river mama.
Have you all heard that people disappear with the mermaids and come back later?
I've
Uh,
heard.
that's a common story in like Thailand. I think people will disappear and come back, or maybe it's Taiwan. I forget, but either or, they disappear with the mermaids, and then like a week later they reappear and have stories about it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you joined us last night, Larry, but there was a big cargo container of free chicken washed up in that.
Yeah, it's very. That's so suspicious, dude.
I was talking about that earlier today. I was like, that's so sketchy. I just can't get over that. Like, I can't
Yeah,
think of why. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I still don't understand it. Like, yeah, was it an accident? Like, I just don't know.
It just seems very suspicious that a refrigerated shipping container of chicken would just beach in Jamaica.
Well, I went to the grocery store today, and it was playing heavy on my mind. And you know how chicken's been high as hell. Like a family pack of chicken has been like 14, 15, $16.
Yeah,
Today it was $8, and I was like, you know what I mean? Like, what are they doing with the chicken?
yeah, yeah. What's up with the chicken?
And this looked like it came from a farm. But yeah, the mermaid thing here though, we actually talked about this guy who basically could summon them to his parties and stuff like that when we were talking about that one fellow that came out who was saying the elite were eating them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Larry, it's kind of hard to find information about it. Like, I mean, obviously, our media isn't gonna talk about a shipping container of chicken in Jamaica, but maybe if another like 28 days later starts there or something.
Well, what really freaks me out about it is what a month or two ago, all that you heard was this bird flu jumping to humans and stuff, and now a suspicious ass container full of chicken shows up in Jamaica, where probably one of the poorer parts where people are just scavenging it to take home because they're probably starving. In the particular part, possibly. And I really want to know more about it. I should research more, but I had shit to do today.
Yeah.
I just hope it turns out better than what we speculate.
Yeah, it's going to be 50-50. I mean, I think sometimes I think sometimes they do these things just to gauge public reaction.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's see. Well, let's move on to the next topic.
Again, if you're out there and you're just joining, we're talking conspiracies, and if you want to talk any particular conspiracies, hey Holly, I was just talking about you. If you want to talk about any particular conspiracies, just drop them in the comments. We'll talk about it.
And hell, if you want to call in, give us a call. If you got this is a free for all. If you got any kind of weird stories or anything, just call in. And we'll let
Oh
you.
yeah, I keep forgetting that we've got the call in number.
Yeah.
We do have the call in if you wanted to call and tell some stories
If it,
or talk about conspiracies.
yeah. If it don't work, tell us so. I might shoot you my real phone number. Let's see. Let's do the Mandela one. Let's see what you got keyed up here.
The Mandela's kind of crazy.
Mandela.
Yeah, we're good, Holly. How are you? Glad you got to jump on for a minute, or at least saw us stray on here.
Let's see. This comes from Do Good, Stay Bad. Wicked name. Do Good, Stay Bad. Sounds like a new.
Today, the Mandela effect. Like, I know the basic ones. I know about the Berenstain Bears and the Monopoly Man and how he never had a monocle and how Curious George never had a tail. I know that Sinbad was never in the movie Shazam, even though we all collectively remember it. But how are there new Mandela effects popping up? Like, the movie Home Alone, you've seen it, right? Of course you have. Everybody has seen the first one. You know the part where Macaulay Culkin is running from the Wet Bandits, Joe Pesci and the other guy, I don't know the actor's name, but his name is Merv in the movie. You know the part where Macaulay Culkin's running from him and he hides in the nativity scene outside the church and the Wet Bandits drive by and they slow down passing the church and they look at the church and Merv says to Joe Pesci, "Do you want to go in there?" And Joe Pesci says, "No, that place gives me the creeps." He never said it. He never said it. I heard this and I was like, of course he said it. I know that movie like the back of my hand. It's my favorite Christmas movie. So immediately I went to watch it. He never says it. How am I just hearing about this? Why do I remember it? I said this to my husband. My husband was like, no, he absolutely says it. I was like, watch this scene. He doesn't say it. I know other people out there remember him saying it too. I'm just saying, how are there new Mandela effects? How have I never heard of this? We've all heard of the basic ones. How am I just now hearing about this Home Alone one? Are we actively changing timelines? Is this a giant psyop where they're going in and editing things from the past to make us think that things were different than they were? Is this an active gaslight campaign? What is going on? I need to know that somebody else remembers this.
What do you think?
I can't say I remember it.
I
But
remember them slowing down at the church and being like, "That place gives me the creeps."
I don't remember that part at all. Like even though slowing down at the church. I don't know.
He's like hiding in the nativity.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really watch that too much.
Got you.
I don't know. Something about that little boy freaked me out. And what really makes me mad about this is how does she not know who Daniel Stern is? That Daniel Stern's a fucking legend. Let's see.
Oh yeah. We so we've been on with Stan Deo a couple times recently, and he's like a biblical Nephilim expert, and he was talking about this. And I don't know if he saw that episode for him, but he pulled up. He's also like really familiar with the Middle East on Google Earth, and there's a place where one of the Nephilim, who they called Poseidon, he had a castle allegedly on like one of the coasts off this Middle Eastern country, and I guess his insignia was a key. And from Google Earth, looking down, you can see these keys all over from aerial view. That was, I guess, supposed to have been like his kingdom.
Yeah.
But also, Stan showed us a lot of like comet gleams or like something falling from the heavens that made these impacts all over the world, similar to what you're talking about. It was crazy. Well, hopefully we'll have him back on sometime.
Yeah, I like Stan a lot. A lot.
We told him that the next time he comes on, we're just going to let him loose with Google Earth again.
Oh yeah. I broke off of it finally, but it consumed me for about a month and a half. It was a rough time in my life. I was like, what is this? but if you go to standale.com and look through his webpage, he's actually got coordinates of things on there.
Oh yeah, he's got all the like. You can look for yourself. He doesn't claim to like be the gatekeeper to the stuff.
Yeah. Go check it out. It is weird. And what was really weird, I don't know if we did this on the episode or not, It might have been after, but I Googled image the keys to see if I could find anything that was related to it, and what pulled up was launch sites. That was weird. And these were obviously like ancient, what he had on there. So it
Well,
was,
do you remember he actually pull like the keys were also close to some of the developed missile bases,
yeah.
and I guess he was saying that they do run recon operations out of those missile bases.
Yeah. So it was weird. It's some wild stuff. History is more than likely not anything like we think it is. Like even modern, what you would consider modernish history, as we discussed earlier today in this episode. I mean, if it comes out Hitler was alive in Argentina, then I dare anybody say that we're wrong about anything that we bring up ever again.
Well, the only reason that the CIA, I'm sure, released that document is because Argentina has said they're going to release their findings on Hitler being in Argentina.
Yeah, yeah.
But the CIA's docs, like their search for him, started 10 years after he allegedly offed himself.
Yep. Yep. So,
Yeah, there's time travel. Some people think the Mandela is related to all the quantum physics manipulation that's going on in some of these particle accelerators. Probably other things like there's an article a couple months back, if you remember, if you were around then, we read about there's a center in China trying to create mini black holes.
yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff I think that could bend time space that are going on right now, and nobody wants to. I think your average person, just like with certain conspiracies, you can tell them the information, but they just don't want to hear it because they enjoy living in the simulation that's been created for everybody.
And the thing about Mandela effects too, this is a spoiler. The new season of Black Mirror came out this week. And I watched episode of it. If you don't want this to be spoiled for you, then don't watch this.
Well, let me take my headphones off because I want to see it. Just give me a thumbs up.
All right. So on this episode of Black Mirror, this girl gets a job at a food processing plant with this girl that she went to high school with. And this girl starts having things crazy happen. She gets blamed for all kinds of stuff. And it comes to find out that this girl has built a quantum computer to where she can change a timeline on a whim to make anything happen because there's timelines. So, like, if she was wearing a yellow shirt, she could switch it to where the girl was wearing a red shirt. Or if she had a nut allergy, because there was one scene where somebody kept drinking somebody's almond milk. And they's like, who's drinking my fucking milk, And the main girl had a nut allergy, but the protagonist had a nut allergy, but the villain, I guess, switched it to a different timeline where she didn't have one, and there's camera footage of her drinking the milk. So it's pretty cool, and it kind of plays into this. It could be some kind of like kicking us into different timelines, which everybody kind of thinks anyway. But I like the new season of Black Mirror. It's pretty good, so go check it out.
I was thinking about what Larry was saying while you were talking. So, Larry, if you've never looked into this, there's an invention called the Cozy Rev mirror, and I believe he was a Russian scientist, but he created this. It looks very Fibonacci-ish. Think snail spiral, like snail shell spiral. But the occupant would walk into this mirror and sit down, and it was supposed to be not only a bender of time space, but they could also remote view or like have out of body experiences really well within these mirrors. And there's way more than just that one, but there's been plenty of instances already And actually, I think next week on Weird Awakenings, we're supposed to be talking about patents and inventions again.
Hmm.
So I may come locked and loaded with a few different instances of time travel. Most of the people who get into that kind of thing just disappear.
Oh yeah, yeah, because they traveled to a different time.
Yeah.
So we're going to kick right on to why nurses don't donate organs. I'm
Oh,
sure.
that's a good one.
I'm sure this is going to be fun. This comes from Sage Wilson DK. Let's see what old Sage has to say here. Oh,
gonna die.
We ain't got.
Like you're already
there we
dead,
go.
you don't need them.
let's.
I just saw this girl say, "Why aren't you donating your organs if you know you're gonna die? Like you're already dead, you don't need them." If I had to give you a quick, really sloppy answer, I would say that they don't wait for you to die to take your organs. If you were not raised in a medical field family or you did not work in the medical field yourself like I did, you probably wouldn't even know this. It is very fucking deceiving and it pisses almost every single nurse in the industry off. They will sit there and make something happen to make you pass. Also, they're gonna be pressuring your nurse half the fucking time. If you take too long to die, they're gonna be saying, "Hey, why don't you pull the cord? Hey, I sense no brain activity." Then the nurse will go in and see brain activity. Like they do the sketchiest fucking shit to make you die if you have an organ that's in high demand, or even if it's not. And then on the other hand, like, do you really think the hospital is like, "Oh, thank you for donating it. We're gonna give it to them for free"? Fuck no. We're talking about American hospitals. They say, "Oh, thank you for both of your very healthy kidneys. Now we're gonna give it to this guy and charge him $100,000 fucking dollars." I am not telling anyone what to do or what not to do, but I'm telling you what fucking goes on.
I mean, she ain't wrong. Like for the whole free thing, like because my dad had a kidney transplant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like after all the medical bills and everything, it probably cost him $200,000-300,000. On paper, he didn't pay it, of course. But what did the family get? You know what I mean? Did they get did they get anything out of it? It makes me very glad that I've ruined all my internal organs. Nobody wants my shit. But
Yeah, easy. I would definitely take donor off your license. Like they're not going to try life saving. They're not going to try as hard. I mean, there's already a huge black market for organs, but if they can get away with it legally, they're gonna do it.
yeah,
That's awesome, Landa. Landa said she gave her husband one of her kidneys.
I wanted to give Dad one of mine, but he refused it. He said, "You never know when you're going to need it," and come to find out, it's probably going to be soon. But yeah, that is sketchy, and you know something we've always heard, and I've talked to people in the medical profession who say that it's not true too. But I mean, it seems true. It really does. Like because there's a lot of other people that say, "Well, yeah, if you're a donor and somebody needs it, then they let you slip." I don't know.
Well, they also push people. I mean, there's a lot of propaganda, not just for organ, but even your blood donations.
Oh yeah.
I will never. I don't know. Like, unless I'm donating for somebody directly, like Lando was talking about, like somebody who actually needed it. God knows what they're doing with a lot of that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, my biggest thing is, you know, there are places that probably try to save everybody no matter what, but there's just so many options for greed. You know what I mean? Like across the nation to where you know it happened somewhere. And that's just terrifying. Let's see.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Like, very skeptical of that kind of stuff.
And you
I
know,
agree, Holly. I agree. Like, it probably does happen a lot more than we think.
but you
Um,
know, also being somebody that had to go through a transplant, I was thankful that somebody was a organ donor. You know what I mean?
yes,
Because
there's two sides of it.
yeah, it got him more time. Um, I don't know. That's a thin line for me because I don't think you should let anybody expire. You shouldn't just let them. But I can also see the good in it
Yeah.
if you're
Well, I mean, just in the United States, 600,000 people go missing every year.
Yeah.
Now, do you think those 600,000 people are, I don't know, being abducted by serial killers? I think those 600,000 people are, a lot of them are probably on going through like human trafficking markets for organs and, sex and everything else.
Yeah. True. It is
That's just the United States. So across the world, there's probably millions of people that go missing, and especially in some countries where people may have access to black markets, I'm sure that the organ business on the black market is booming because they use these people until they aren't useful anymore, and then they probably parse out their organs and anything they can. And who knows? Those red rooms all over the dark web where they murder people and people pay money to watch it.
Yeah.
So there's a money waterfall all the way down to the organs on the black market.
And I just looked it up. 8 million people per year in the world go missing. So, I mean, with the population like it is, I don't know the percentage, but
it can't just be a coincidence. Like those aren't just regular murders or anything like that. That's way too many people.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, you got to factor in everything like the human trafficking, which is real. This came out. Serial killers, these just people just turning up missing too. I mean, there's 8 million's a lot though worldwide.
Yeah, Holly Foreman that was watching a minute ago. He used to get on the dark web back in it's irrelevant now. This was in 2012, so well over 10 years ago. On a different PC than he currently has, so he's safe.
Yeah, our buddy Foreman.
Here's his address, by the way.
He's doing some shady shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to tell a story to Holly. So he got on there and was navigating to all these different places, and at the time, the OG Silk Road was still running, and you could get anything from guns to passports, drugs, and like I said, there were these red rooms where people do unspeakable things to people for money, and sometimes they weren't like hostages. Like certain people would just be out in the world filming their walk and be like, for this much money, I'll do this to this person. And it was really vile people who were on the dark web, and I think that's why it still exists, mainly for the drugs though. But there are some DEF CON level serial killers and I don't even want to call them assassins, but hitmen on the dark web.
Yeah. And that's why we have Bitcoin now.
Yeah. Well, see, Foreman's cool with it. He said he never could figure out how to make a transaction.
Well, that's good. But all right, so let's move on. Let's
FBI kicks in our door in the morning. You'll know why, Foreman.
I've never been on it. All right, so let's do the grocery fuckery. Let's see what that's all about. Oh, before we do that, did you hear about the dire wolves?
No.
They recreated dire wolves.
Like cloned or
recreated? Let's see.
Like in a lab? Like grew them in a lab or what?
Yeah.
Are they alive?
Yeah. Let's see if we can find a video of that. They got the cutest little howl on them.
I don't know if this is a good thing.
They recreated them with modern canine and dire wolf DNA, I think. Let's see. Dire wolf howl. Let's see if we can find a little howl video here. It'd probably be best just to search it on fucking TikTok, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, when I seen this, I was like, Tully's going to buy one of these.
I don't know, dude. Like, I love Remy, but I think a 10 to 15-year sentence of that kind of hair in your house is enough.
Here, we'll watch this one. Just the first one that pulled up. Let's see.
Jurassic Park and that scene where they take the DNA out of like a mosquito that's in sap or something. Let's back this up a little bit and rewind and tell us how this was even able to come into fruition.
They extracted from specimens that were 13,000 years old and 72,000 year olds, and they made 20 gene edits across 14 different genes, 15 of which were directly from ancient DNA, and basically plugged that into a gray wolf in order to replicate the things that you're seeing here, like a long white coat, bigger ears, a larger size, cold adapted, and these are the things that make up genetically a dire wolf. So they've taken a gray wolf and turned it into
the face is crazy.
Dire wolf. That this animal will never be released back into the wild. That was never an intent for that. This was just to show a proof of concept.
Definitely more of an ancient looking face for sure.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, have you ever went on and looked at how the old like how animals like dogs used to look before they were bred to what they are now?
Yeah. I've seen that.
Right here's
that's what I'll never understand. Like, how do you go from wolf to poodle?
Oh no! Look at that little thing stretching. Little puppy dog.
Yeah, Larry. I haven't seen that specifically. If you're on other platforms, Larry is saying that they made a woolly mammoth moss.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that. Yeah, that's exactly right. Easy said something crazy on Rumble for those of you watching on other places. Easy said that one of the concerns is the DNA might take current viruses and cause a rapid mutation due to ancient chromosomes. And I think that should be a very real concern.
Oh, sure.
With trying to revive these ancient animals.
I can't be this puppy though. Look at
yeah, it's all fine and well until that thing gets up to how much did they weigh? Like 300 pounds?
Oh no, they're supposed to be like 20 or 30% bigger than a wolf, I think.
Well, that's not that big.
No.
I was thinking over. Well, some wolves get pretty big, like over 200. So I guess it could be approaching 300 pounds.
Yeah, and I mean, when they bring the dodo bird back, I heard that was good eating.
Yeah, maybe they'll just bring the dodo bird back, make a bunch of them like they do the trout every year, and you can just go kill them all. You know what I mean? Like,
we made 50 million dodo birds.
Yeah.
Oh Lord!
And then you end up growing like a arm out of your head because of the genetic mutations.
I mean, that is a legit fear because I mean, they had all kinds of diseases and stuff back then that we don't have now. That just kind of died off with civilizations at point. I'm sure there's been multiple civilizations wiped out from disease, famine, things like this, viruses and whatnot. So it is kind of scary if you put it in that aspect. But
we haven't had a true plague in a long time.
Well,
like a plague level event, like a mass kill off event or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, the puppies are just so cute. They are. They're so
that's what they're like. We'll just so cute it into oblivion. Like, who cares about humanity? Let's just make some puppies.
That's Mandy rubbing off on me. But I mean the biggest fear I have with a dire wolf is the DNA like memory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they were killers.
Well, I'm sure they hunted humans too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That
Yeah,
may not be a recipe for success.
yeah, we'll see
You
what
know,
happens.
if you're gonna send it, just go full send and start making like the big cats too.
Yeah, saber-tooth. Where's the saber-tooth tiger?
Full send velociraptors. Bring it all back.
I
If
don't.
they're real.
Yeah,
If they're real.
they're not going to be able to bring dinosaurs back because they never actually existed.
But dragons may have.
Dragons may have. They were called dragons until the 1800s. Just saying. Oh, let's see. Still more modified. This one is titled Grocery Fuckery. Let's see what this
I
is.
don't even remember this, honestly.
This comes from Dara Lee Star with 2 R's, like porno stars.
And I are at Meijer right now, and I just thought y'all would love to see how they're price gouging the fuck out of meat in an already horrible economy. So
Wait, they're price gouging groceries? Now, this right here, what is this? Is this baby back ribs?
It's a pack of ribs. It's St. Louis.
St. Louis, okay. No, that's about accurate.
So as you can see, this slab of ribs is being told that we're getting a huge special savings because it's 10% off, 1962, right?
For 7.29 pounds.
7.29 pounds. All right, put it on the scale, babe. How many fucking pounds did that say? 3.5. These people are so fucking criminal, it's ridiculous. So if you're out here shopping, make sure that you are checking
I would say
all of your meat because these stores.
I would say weigh everything if you can. I've even found this to be true with some bulk produce. Like it'll have the price and the poundage on there, but you throw it on the scale and it weighs completely different than what the poundage says.
When I was a teenager, before I was an adult, and I was weighing things on scales, I didn't think I'd ever have to weigh like food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's crazy. A lot of the meats, a lot of the produces are being misweighed, and part of the problem is like with certain grocery stores. Like I buy a lot of limes, and they have a prepackaged bag that says 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, if they're not paying any attention, the bag just says 2 pounds. They're not sometimes weighing the actual 2 pounds. So I would say if something feels a lot, weigh it. I saw a dude doing the same thing with taters.
That's a drug dealer technique. You don't weigh the bag with the product. That's not fair.
So the dude was in the store, and you know how they had the big brown thing full of bags of taters?
Yeah.
He was like, here's what I do. And he kept weighing bags of taters until one was actually 5 pounds. Wow. And he went through like 6 of them before it was actually 5 pounds.
Yeah, Easy's got a legit point about taters.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
But like meat shouldn't dry up like that. Like,
well, the ribs were vacuum sealed.
Yeah, like it really has me questioning things because I like buying baby back ribs. I don't know if you know this, but inflation hasn't done shit to baby back ribs around here. They're still the same price they were 10 years ago.
How much is a rack down there?
Like $10.
Not up here. Baby backs would be about 16.
Yeah, it ain't really changed down here. But now
we looked at the price of beef. Like we buy a lot of beef at a time. Like we bought recently 40 pounds of hamburger, and it's like, I mean, it's way better quality, first of all, but from 2022 to now, beef has went from I think it was $32 per 10 pounds. And now it is $50 per 10 pounds since 2022.
We've seen the beef hike down here, for sure. We buy the cheap beef for like spag and stuff that comes in the rolls, and it used to be like $1.99. It's like $8 now.
Yep.
So,
well, I mean, not to mention eggs.
Eggs are fucking stupid.
I haven't seen egg whites in the Cincinnati area in over a month. Like you can't find egg whites because they're pasteurized with all the bird flu stuff going on.
Yeah.
You cannot find egg whites anywhere.
So they're bastardized, you say?
Yep.
But I mean, I went today when I seen the egg prices. The egg prices compared to the chicken prices down here don't make any fucking sense. I seen a carton of eggs for $8, and the chicken has went down. So I'm like,
$8.
$8.
That's nuts.
Yeah. And the chicken prices went down, so I can get a family pack of chicken for what I can buy a dozen eggs for. I was like, what the fuck? So I guess the chicken comes before the egg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's weird. Let's see. So we'll move right along. You got so many fucking videos, man. I'm glad to burn these.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we can't watch them. We can't watch them all, but yeah, I do save weird stuff that people send me and that I see myself.
Oh, she bought a dozen for $3.99. Good for you, Linda.
That's awesome.
I need you to email me your address, and we'll set up. And what we'll do is we'll set up a little game where you send me eggs, and I'll sell them here for twice as much, and we'll split the profit.
So Larry said, for everybody listening, Larry said, "Do you all believe in the moon landing?" NASA says they are offering $3 million. There you go, $3 million to recycle 96 bags of poop left on the moon from the Apollo missions. That's goofy. No, I don't believe in the moon landing, and I'll show you why. Hang on, let me find the.
If this is real, how in the hell do they expect us to get to the moon to recycle the 96 bags of poop? And we're on the moon long enough to take 96 shits. Like, that doesn't. I don't know. You figured the groundskeeper up there would take care of that by now.
This video is literally one of the reasons why I don't. Well, this is one of the videos. I'll play this first. Let me. What did Easy say? I'm multitasking.
The last thing he said, this can't be real. They pooped in their suits. Which, I mean, I don't know how. I don't ever.
Here's one of the reasons I don't believe in NASA, but.
Actually, it's a link along that tether line. You see there, 25 feet of umbilical cord.
So if he's really in space, why does it look like he's dangling from a cord?
Yeah.
Look. I guess this is supposed to be Earth, but
contains a life support system and communications link.
Or the moon.
From the spacecraft life support system out through that chest pack.
Who's filming all these angles?
Well, I actually watched this movie before. I'm here myself. Stop sharing.
Okay, I can't hear you twice, but
yeah, I'm reverbing. All right, but I watched that before, and what happened was before it came on, they said it was a recreation.
Okay.
My issue with that is, why would they have to recreate it? And why recreate it? Just say they did it. You know, because that just leads. Let's see. Yeah, you can see the tension on his back. It was for sure fake. But my biggest thing with it, why even show that? And then they say, "Oh, this is a recreation, but we're going to present it as being real." You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Orson Welles thing when he went on the radio and caused hysteria in that town. I don't know. That's a bunch of trash. But there's other things. There's other evidences like that too, where they said it was real that looked just like that.
Yeah, I can't find the exact video. You remember the one where they you actually see the stars and it looks like it's something out of a Wizard of Oz set?
Exactly. Yeah. they tried to go too far, and then eventually they stopped using the stars, saying, "Oh, the radiation keeps the stars from shining."
Yeah.
But yeah, that one right there, I'm pretty sure is the one that was listed as a recreation. But no, I don't believe they landed on the moon because now we don't have the technology to go back. They say
Too expensive.
to
Technology.
yeah. China's landed on the moon apparently. And India did. Let's not forget India went to the moon.
After they came out with that footage, they're like, "Oh, that was just a." They ended up like months and months later saying that it was just a representation.
Sure. When they first did, they were having a big press conference showing it touching down, and they were like, "Yay, we did it!"
Yeah,
that stuff's ridiculous. Let's see. I think that's actually in your outro for Weird Awakenings, ain't it?
Yeah,
totally real.
Yeah, totally real.
Let's see what this fluoride battle's about. I thought fluoride was good for your teeth.
It continues. Like the people who need to get rid of that chemical are fighting the hell out of everybody wanting to get fluoride out of the water.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because there's no other way to get rid of that chemical. It's a byproduct.
Yeah. So this is from 5149 James Lee L.I.
We watch a lot of James Lee stuff. He's very kind of middle of the row, I think.
Yep. Let's take a look at it. Oh, sorry, James.
Utah has become the first state in the United States to ban fluoride in community waters. This law was signed yesterday and will go into effect on May 7th. And this is actually very concerning.
Is it concerning? Because most industrialized nations do not fluoridate their water supply, and nobody's freaking out there, so what's going on? Well, as always, if you follow the money, you usually find the truth. First, a little bit of quick background. Water fluoridation was introduced in the United States back in 1945 in the city of Grand Rapids with the claim that it helped prevent tooth decay. But if we take a look at data released by the WHO, tooth decay rates are virtually the same across every single country. It's all getting better regardless of whether they fluoridate their water or not. But for the countries that are adding fluoride to their water supply, like the United States, there are more and more studies coming out, just like this one, finding that fluoride has a negative impact on cognitive development, specifically a drop in IQ. Not a subtle finding, they say. More than 50 studies show this consistent association. Not ideal, I would say. So why does Dr. Zachary Rubin, who I have nothing against, and I'm sure he's a good doctor, why is he claiming that not fluoridating the water supply is concerning? Well, it turns out from time to time, Dr. Zachary Rubin is called upon to, let's say, shill for corporate science. In this case, guest hosting a podcast with Thermo Fisher Scientific, which is a $200 billion biotech and pharmaceutical company. And Thermo Fisher Scientific just happens to make millions of dollars every year selling testing equipment to monitor fluoride levels in municipal water systems. So possibly a little bit of conflict of interest here. Also, let's talk about how the fluoride in our water literally comes from hazardous waste.
The fluoride that they get is a byproduct of the phosphate fertilizer industry, and it's called hydrofluorosilicic acid. So as a byproduct of the phosphate fertilizer industry, it's considered a hazardous waste, and it's very expensive to dispose of.
Yeah, this is literally what they're putting into our water supply. In 1983, the EPA called this an ideal solution to a long-standing problem. So since then, companies like Mosaic, which is formerly part of Cargill, has been selling this hazardous waste byproduct to municipalities instead of paying to dispose of it as hazardous waste. And finally, we have organizations like the ADA, the American Dental Association, running cover for these chemical companies, in part because they are funded by those very same companies. And then they're out to defend water fluoridation. And that's how we turn something that I'm sure was once well-intentioned into an industrial complex where we are mass medicating people. But hey, they call me a conspiracy theorist, so what do I know? Is there a water?
Conspiracy theories.
My thing with that is it makes sense that they would do something like this because they figured out a way to make more money and to get rid of it because the EPA needed them to get rid of it.
It's literally just getting rid of a waste byproduct that they didn't have anything to do with. So they bought the Dentistry Society first. Before they, I mean, I think it was in toothpaste before it was in water.
Yeah. Awesome. That's so great to know that they're just going to feed us corrosive material to get rid of it.
Yeah, I forget. Like, there ended up, everybody always, I mean, that's a big meme, right, Larry? I don't know if you know that, but it is. And it turned out that, I forget whether it was no, it wasn't glyphosate. That's Roundup. There was something about the fluoride that, and maybe it wasn't fluoride specifically, but chemicals that were being used for municipal water treatment that was making frogs androgynous. So, like frogs that had the ability to change sex, it would drive that. It's really weird, like when you get into the details, but it's definitely having adverse effects on the animals at the that specific study, I believe, was around a factory, like chemical output of some of the chemicals that are used in the water supplies. Yeah, I agree, Easy. I mean, lobbying is the root of all of our evils, I think, at this point.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, I mean, it's kind of genius. You get rid of a corrosive material by putting it into natural recycling bins. You know what I mean? It's horrible. But I mean, hey, innovation, you know.
Innovation.
Frogs. And the frog thing, I mean, there was a particular fella that came out and told us that was happening, but he didn't say it quite that way.
That's the meme. That's the meme that I'm talking about.
I think it hit Jeremy too. No, I'm joking.
I think he's probably gone by now. He's watching the UFC card tonight.
But let's see. So as you all know, I've tampered with Chat GPT a little bit. It's been commandeered by my spouse to make funny pictures. But let's see what this Chat GPT lawyer is all about.
You've not seen this?
No, I've not seen it.
They didn't let if I were this guy, I wouldn't have told him that the lawyer was Chat GPT.
Let's see.
Proceed before a panel of 5 distinguished justices.
Is this? Hold on. Is that counsel for the case?
I generated that.
I'm sorry.
That is not a real person.
May it please the court.
So this guy's representing himself, and he generates a Chat GPT lawyer.
Nice. Chat GPT, man. I mean, it's scary. I kind of quit messing with it until she found out you can make pictures. So I was like, I'll leave it open so you can make pictures. She just likes making pictures. That's her thing. But it is scary because it's going to take out any thought behind things. Like it can literally do everything. It can write songs. It can.
You remember when we were kids and the teachers were like, you need to do this math because you ain't going to just have a calculator out in your pocket in the real world. And now we have everything in our pocket in the real world, including sentient thinking artificial intelligence, apparently.
Yeah. And, I would love to go up to Miss Kim and be like, check this out. Because she was mean to me.
Yeah, Holly said that when she was in grade school, they used to come into the classroom and give fluoride swish. We used to get that too, and they used to bring like other stuff, like other chemicals that you would have to swish and swallow. Like, man, we both remember that.
Other people did too. I've talked to people that went to the same grade school we did. We've talked about it. We haven't talked about it in a while. We went to what was known as a school of the future. They developed it in 1970. It was supposed to be the way that they wanted to take all schools. Had no walls separating the classes. So when you're sitting here listening to math, you can also hear the English teacher and you can hear the social studies teacher, like they're all side by side, and it was in a big circle. All the classes, they were separated by these bookshelves that we used to throw paper wads over because the bookshelves were what, 3-4 feet tall, maybe.
Yeah, there were no walls in the whole school.
Yeah, and so it's really weird. Tell us if you went to a grade school like this. So they would come in with the fluoride, have us do the swish stuff, and then immediately they would have us take this other swish stuff and swish it and swallow it. And our recesses consisted of us where they would make us roll down this hill and run back up it as fast as we could, see who could win. We played tug of war and stuff like that, and did the running through the tires. I was explaining it to somebody one time, and they was like, "That sounds like boot camp training in a way." And if you got in trouble, what you had to do, which is probably why my shoulders are fucked up, you had to stand with your arms wide open about this far from the wall. And if your back touched the wall or you let your arms fall, you had to do it again the next day. And my favorite thing about it was whenever they used to make you wear the sign that if you if somebody was picking on you, you went and told them, they got the wall, but you also got the wall and got to wear a sign that said tattletale.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of like reverse psychology stuff going on there for sure.
Yeah.
They also had a gifted and talented.
Yeah.
They had all of it, like the gate and like everything. It was, looking back on it, very strange, but yeah, like since we've really gotten into conspiracy stuff, it apparently wasn't that uncommon for places like certain areas of the U.S. to have pockets of this sort of thing happening.
Yeah. And that school released some highly intelligent people, not us, but
yeah, it seemed like everybody that went to school there either turned out to be a doctor or us, or dead. There's no in between.
One of the most brilliant people I ever met, like intellectually, like was a fucking madman, and he died from the flu. Like, it was nuts. Like he scored so high on the SATs and stuff, like the military and stuff was like trying to recruit him. Like, which ain't weird, but they were like trying to recruit him.
And he decided he wanted to party and ride 4-wheelers instead.
Yeah.
And I think his immune system eventually got so bad that the flu took him out.
Yeah. And this was way before the pandemic. So, but yeah, it was a weird school. It was a weird school for sure. G&T. My nephew got accepted to G&T, and then he got a crown stuck up his nose. I said, gifted and talented.
Yeah.
But you want to wrap it up? We still got more.
Yeah, we can wrap it up for now. We can. If you want to watch one more, we can.
Let's just call it. It's been fun.
I mean, we've got a bunch more videos we can get into for the next free for all, but yeah, if you don't already follow us wherever you're watching, give us a follow. Like I said, if you're on audio only, I'm sure this episode has been kind of boring, so try to join us live sometime.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hop on over to BitChute, YouTube, Rumble, Twitter. All of that's got the live stuff. And we're on almost all audio only platforms. This one ain't going to play well, but I'm going to put it up anyway. I'm actually 4 episodes behind. I might do that tonight. I might need to.
yeah, probably need to do that.
Probably need to do that. And of course, go ahead and follow us, like us, subscribe. Just help us out a little bit. every
I'm
Friday.
I'm going to a metaphysical conference tomorrow, so I may take a bunch of cards and drop them off. Maybe we may have some psychics in the chat next week.
I have left business cards in every shady bathroom from here to Knoxville. If I go in and it says if it has poop in the floor, I'm like, this is our type of people.
Yeah, like kindred spirits.
But yeah, and every Friday night, come and watch us at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Weird Awakenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. Next week they're talking about inventions, and next week we'll see what we're talking about. We just don't know yet. We'll see what happens. And thank you all for watching us, because we are watching you.
Have a good weekend, everybody.